Hello, it's Diana Marchand from dianamarchand.com and Raw Foods Made Simple, and I help women lead happy, healthy lives full of passion and purpose. And welcome to this video. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer instructional video because I really have a lot I would like to help you through at this stage. And what I've been hearing, of course, from a lot of women is how tired they are, how exhausted, how busy they are. So they just can't bring anything more into their life. Or when you talk about, eating healthier foods or staying consistent, what always seems to trip them up is I'm just too busy. I'm just too busy. I don't have enough time. I got busy and then I dropped this and I dropped that. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to let go of the craziness of life, how to adjust things, to shift things, to change things around so that you really begin to put the focus back on you and get the health and happiness that you really truly deserve to have, right, in this stage of your life. Now, women going through middle age, like 45 and over, there's a lot of changes going on in your body as is. So when our body's going through all these changes, it kind of wreaks havoc with a lot of things. If you think back on adolescence, of course, you felt like you're going crazy sometimes. Your mind, your emotions, your temper, everything was just crazy. Right? Well, it's kind of like that, what we're going through now with your hormonal changes. So we tend to be over emotional. We tend to not be able to handle stress as well. Things may bother us. We get in overwhelm more. Our memory, we have blotches of like just losing trains of thought and not being able to remember as good as we used to. Now that is all a phase. It shall end. Believe me, it did for me. I know what it's like to be through it and on the other side. It does end. But while you're going through it, it can seem, wow, like you're losing your mind. So handling a busy life already before this phase of your life was already, kind of challenging enough. Then when you're going through this phase and experiencing all these shifts and changes within you, it just becomes too much. A lot of women end up in adrenal fatigue. A lot of women end up in antidepressants because they just can't handle things. They don't know what else to do. But that is my mission. I am here to help you flow through this stage with much easier. It's kind of with understanding, awareness, and figuring out the things that you can do to help yourself at this time in your life. And there are things you can do. So that's the video. So today we're going to go through some questions. I give you a handout, a PDF. Either you have it, I send it to you. However, there should be a PDF that you can print off. Or if you don't have a printer, just get a pen and some paper and we will go through it. Okay, you can look at it on your screen, on your computer. You're going to go through some questions and I want you to, you're going to say pause the video. That's when you take time to answer the question and then go on to the next one. And there's also a little visual exercise that we're going to do that kind of gives you a plan. It gives you a nice little visual. Now, as you can see, I have lots of Post-it notes behind me. These are big ones. These are not to-do lists, no. These are affirmations and things that I want to feel during the day, things that I want to, good thoughts, positive vibes all around me. This one, dream big, dream beautiful, take action. That's one of my favorite ones. So this is how I really immerse myself in feeling good and really focusing on the things that are important for me. Otherwise, yes, we get caught up in the craziness of life, in other people's stuff, in other people's drama, in other people's to-do lists, and we lose complete handle on our own life, right? So this is what we want to change. This is what I want to help you shift and change. I got a few notes here, so don't mind that I'm reading this. Okay, so if you are at the point when you're tired, exhausted, you're just too busy to do the things like I don't have time to prepare healthy foods, I don't have time to shop, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that, then please note that without change, nothing changes. So continue watching this video if you are ready for things to shift and change for the better. I know sometimes people, when they think of change or something, it's like, oh my God, I have no energy to change. I don't want to add anything to my life. I'm just too busy. I can't think about change. That is because your perception, the way your thoughts are about change is more negative. So we're going to shift it into the positive. What you really want in your life, the way you want to feel, the way you want to look, the way you want to be is positive. But it requires certain shifts and changes to get there. So the changes and shifts are great because they're leading you to the way you would like things to be and away from the craziness of how you maybe live in your life now, or the feeling tired and exhausted, right? So the changes you want to implement are positive and good. So really get your head around that, thinking it's great, it's good, I'm ready for these changes. So let's talk a little bit about commitment. So everybody's committed to something. Don't say I'm not good at committing to something, because no, if you are feeling tired, exhausted, you're really busy, you're doing everything for everybody else, you have too many things in your day, not enough time, then you are committed to that because you're staying there. So you are committed to doing everybody else's stuff before your own. You're committed to have the craziness in your life. You're committed to the drama. You're committed to not thinking about yourself, but thinking about others first. You are committed to all of those things because they are what is your life at this time. So by choosing to stay in that situation, that is renewing your commitment every day to those things. So do you see why your life is the way it is right now? Because you're obviously committed to it being that way. So let's change it. It's time to shift and change your commitments to yourself and to how you want to live your life, how you want to feel, how you want to be. And that will hugely, positively affect everybody around you. Because the better and happier you are, the better and happier everybody else around you will be. And if you don't believe me, that is totally true. Just have faith. You yourself don't want to be around a crabby, bitchy, exhausted person, I'm sure. No, you'd rather be around someone who's lit up, who's really happy, who's excited to wake up in the morning, who's doing things they love, who has lots of energy. That's how you could be. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, the first stage is awareness. So I want you to go to your handout, PDF handout, or on your screen. Like I said, if you don't have a printer, just look at the questions. First part is awareness. So what you're going to do is you're going to become aware of exactly where you are now. Now, don't just skip over this. Actually do these questions. I know often we just say, oh, I'll just listen and I'll figure it out. No, sit down, write it out. Get a piece of paper. If you need to stop this video now, stop it. Go get the pen and paper and let's go. Okay, hope you got it ready. So for awareness, so what I want you to do is the first question is think of all the things you do in a week. Now don't get like writing out every single tiny thing, but just, generalize then if every week's different. So you go to work, how many hours, what time during the day, right? So I go to work. What else do you tend to do during the week that takes up time? Maybe you have yoga classes, you have gym time, you go for a run, you drive your son somewhere every single day, you drive your husband, whatever. Just quickly write out some of these things. Doesn't have to be exact. Just write out all the things that you do. Then come back. Stop and then come back. Okay. So that was the first thing. So you wrote out generally what you do in a week. And then you can kind of see what you do in a day. So let's just take time to write out. I don't think I put that. What do you do during the day? So what is one day in the life of you? Write out that, what you do in one day. And it can be general, like if you can clump things together to show that you have, usually you're quite busy. So in an average day, what do you do? What do you spend your time? And include watching TV and all those little things, okay? Go. Okay, now you're finished. Second question is, or kind of third, how many things of those things that you wrote down in a day or in a week, how many of those things are you doing for you? And that could mean, of course, your gym time, work, of course, making meals, if you're the one who makes meals, dropping someone off, or going to a class that you go to. So things that you do for yourself that you need to do throughout the week, or things you do that you don't necessarily need to do, but you're doing right now. What are the things you do for you? What are they? Write those out. So pause. Okay, come back. Now, how many things, this is the next question, how many things do you do for others? And what are those things that you're doing during the week or during the day for others, not for yourself? Write those out. Really write these out and take a look and see what you're doing for others. Write them all out and then come back. Stop it. Okay, thank you for writing those out. So now you might have an idea, a visual. You can see the things you do for yourself all week and the things you do for others. Now, most women who are 45 and over, not all, not all. So if you have young kids, like I'm not talking, if you have any kids under the, 12 and under, 13 and under, basically, this may not apply to you that well because you have those obligations right now in your life. Those children rely on you and they take up your time. So this exercise is really a lot for women who are older. Their kids are a little older, like 14 and up, who really can do things on their own now. So let's take an honest look at the things that you do. This could send you in a panic already, but now I want you to highlight or check the things that you do for yourself that you must still continue to do, right? Of course, there's things, you got to go to work. You want your gym workouts in there. Absolutely. You want your yoga classes, whatever, get those in there. You want to make healthy meals, right on. You want to shop, perfect. Those things. And then what's left, like the other things that aren't a must do, write them off over to the side. Like just write them somewhere on the back of a piece of paper, something, the things that you have left over that is not a real must do. Okay, back. Okay, now when you look at those things that are outside of the must do's, what things can you maybe let go of? What things do you need to let go of? Look at this honestly, and you could still have things in your must do list that are not really must do. They're just things you think you must do. But are you the one who really has to do them? Like honestly, do you really have to do that? Or you just think you have to? That can also be doing things for someone. Like if you always drive your teenage son somewhere every week, do you really need to do that? Or can he take the bus? Can he walk? Can he get a ride with someone else? See what I mean? It's sometimes we enable our children or people in our lives because we feel we're the only ones who can do things for them, that, we just can't stop. It's our duty, which really, as they grow up, it's our duty to allow them to become adults, to take responsibility, and to begin to do things on their own. So that is what I want you to look at. So take any of those things you do not need to do anymore, and maybe you should not be doing anymore, put them on another pile, okay? So I want you to look at those. And then, of course, what can you delegate? So or putting it on to them, saying, okay, I do this for you, but really you can do it. Like, I don't need to do this for you, and it's time you start doing that. It could be something you do for your spouse that you think, you know what, I'm just tired of doing this, and he's got to learn to do it for himself because I'm done. You see, because when you do it in that emotion, that frustration, that irritation, that bad negative energy, it's not doing him any good and it's not doing you any good. So it's best that you stand up and you just say, you know what, I'm just not happy doing this anymore. It just doesn't make me feel good, and I think you can do it. Stand up for yourself. This is what needs to happen. You need to begin taking action for yourself. You can do it in a loving and kind way. Does not have to be in a negative way. So think about that, okay? So write all those things. What you can let go of just needs to let go of. It's not doing you any good anymore. What you need to let go of that you may be resistant to. So what are the things that you really need to look at to let go of because they're not serving you? And what can you delegate? Okay, so I want you to have all that off to the side. You'll need to stop this video quite a few times. And then, of course, you're going to take action on that stuff. You're going to take action on it. You're going to begin to make little steps. It doesn't have to be all at once. You don't have to get rid of everything at once. Start each day. Start one thing, even a week. Just begin to start to take action on doing that, okay? Delegating, letting go, or getting rid of, okay? All right. Now for the next section, which is called feelings. So here's some more questions. Number 1. How do you usually feel each day? So these are emotions. Do you feel frustrated, stressed, tired, exhausted, overwhelmed? How do you usually feel? It can be a few feelings, it can be 2 or 3 if you want. Each day, write those down. And then how would you like to feel each day? How would you like to feel each day? Write that down. Do you want to feel more joy? Do you want to feel more peace? Do you want to feel more ease and flow? Do you want to feel more excitement, passion? Do you want to feel more fulfillment? Do you want to feel more connection with people? How do you want to feel? Write that down. And then this other question, second question, is how do you feel physically each day now? So physically, your physical body, how do you feel? Aches and pains, exhausted, tired. How do you feel each day? Bloated, fat. How do you feel each day? Write that down. And then you're going to write down, how would you like to feel? Healthy, vibrant, energetic, passionate. That is how would you like to feel physically. How do you want to feel physically each day? Write that down. I know I added some emotion words in there, but you can rewrite them. How do you want to feel each day? Okay, now that you've got that done, now we're going to a little exercise called core values. Now, core values are, they're like something that's really important in your life. So I'll just tell you my three that I can come up with right now that I use. 3 core values, so 3 things that are really important to me are freedom, health, and joy. So freedom to me is like freedom of choice, freedom of movement, freedom to get up and go if I want. It's like, so freedom to me is all of those things. Health is another one of my core values, but I believe also that without my health, I couldn't have freedom. So I need health to have freedom, right? So you see what I mean? They're very interrelated. So that's what I'm talking about. But they're 2 extremely things, really important things to me. The other one is joy. So experiencing joy each day, experiencing happiness. I want to really feel joy. I want to be happy. I want to do something that makes me feel joy each day. So write out the 3 things and then come back. Okay, so if you got your 3 core values, that's fantastic. If you had 4, don't worry about it. Now I want you to look at these core values and ask yourself, do you include them each day? So like for me, health, I eat healthy meals every day. I usually take a walk or something every day. I stretch. Freedom, right now I'm working on my business, so usually I don't have 9 to 5. Like I work on freedom of choice, right? So because I'm healthy, I have a freedom of choice to doing things. So I make sure that I'm giving myself the freedom and I'm doing things for me and not getting bogged down by things I have to do for other people. That's another thing that's keeping my freedom. And then joy. I do something every day that brings me joy. I have a great morning ritual that I absolutely love that makes me really peace, calm, and centered, and it brings a lot of joy to my life. Plus, when I go for a walk, that brings me a lot of joy. So I make sure I do something every day. So what do you think? Are you? And if you're not, why? And you know what? It's time to start. This could be a real awakening. You could see these are my core values. They're not even included in my life at all. By the way, family is not really a core value. Family is family. What about your family? Is it the connection? Is it time spent with them? Is it being loving and supportive to your family? Is it getting the love and support from your family? So love and support would be core values. Okay, not just family. Okay, spending time with them, yes. Okay, and then our next section is called habits and actions. So habits and actions. The questions. Number 1, what do you do when you first get up in the morning? So what do? Do you wake up really late so you have to rush around and you're rushing around and you're barely getting things done and running out the door? Is that what you do? Or do you get up and do you make yourself a pot of coffee and sit there and have a pot of coffee and read the newspaper? I don't know. What do you do each morning? Write that down. Okay, and then you're going to write out how do you feel physically and emotionally when you wake up in the morning. So take time, write it down, then come back. Okay, so now the next question is, what do you eat or drink first thing in the morning? Write that down. Eat and drink. Both, 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 both. What do you eat and drink? Okay. Now, the next question, number 4, is before you go to bed, what do you do? So this could be, some people watch TV right up until they go to bed. So you can write that down. I watch TV. Some people may stretch. Some people may run around and clean the house. I don't know. What do you do before you go to bed? Like about the last hour. And then the next question is, what are your thoughts, energy, and emotions like right before you go to bed? Maybe half an hour, even half an hour to an hour. What are you feeling, thinking? Do you even know? Or are you watching some violent thing on TV and news that's destructive and negative, and then you go right to bed? So what do you do right before bed? What are your emotions? What are you feeling? How is your body physically feeling? Check in. Do you even know? And you should know. Okay, so we're back from that. I hope you wrote all those things down. Remember, you're going to be stopping the video, answering the question, starting the video again. Okay. Now, our next section is on that handout I gave you. Also has a picture of 3 circles, and there's a spot on it for core values. You're going to write your 3, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4 core values you came up with in the spot where it says core values. So write that down. And then you're going to write 1, so there's 3 circles. So on top of each circle, write 1 core value. So we're going to deal with 3 right now because there's 3 circles. 1 core value. And then within each of the circles, write 1 to 3 things you're going to do each day that will help you nurture that core value. So under health, my core value of health, I would put prepare healthy foods and take a walk or go to the gym, whatever. Take a walk / gym, because some days I don't go to the gym, right? So something, exercise could be that. Then joy, it's my morning ritual. Every day I do my great morning ritual. Before I go to bed, I do another bedtime ritual. So those could be 2 of my things for joy, bringing joy into my life, or even the walk. And then for my freedom, it could mean I am clearing up part of my schedule, or I've arranged my day so that I have time for myself. And most of the time I don't have to check that too much. It's because it's such a huge focus for me. But you might have another value that you really need to write down, what you can do each day to really nurture that value. So write those down now inside the circles. 1 to 3 things. Okay, and you're back. And then outside the circle, if you want to write it down more on the bottom or on the sides, you're going to write out those things that you have to do. So things you must do, right? The things you must do. So you have to go to work. You have to prepare meals. You have to do these. Those are going to be written down because those are things that you need to do, right? Those are things that you must do. And that is your little exercise. Now you have a visual of some things. What's in the circle becomes your must. What's in the circles becomes your must, along with those things on the outside that you have to do, right? Like work, done. But you must work on 1 thing a day for your core values. That's your must. Now, this is something that might be really big for you because you may have never done any of those things each day. So inconsistent, but you're going to start. It's about recommitting, shifting, changing things up. Yes, I'm asking you to bring in a couple other things, but these things, you just said to yourself that they were extremely important in your life. When they are your top 3 values, that means that this is really important in your life. It's time. It's time to live a life that is important to you, that fulfills you, that you love. When else are you going to do it? Stop letting the craziness of everybody else, stop letting the craziness of busyness, of drama, of feeling all these shoulds, and expectations. It's time to let those go. It really is. And I want you to consider that if you have problems with this, or if you feel you need help with this, then this is really what I'm moving into in my programs, coaching and everything is, of course, I'm keeping the healthy eating because, like I said, everything's determined on our health. So we're going to have the healthy eating, plus we're also going to have more life things blended into my programs and courses. Huge difference. When you really need to look at what you are focusing on, what your thoughts are, what your words are, how you're creating your life right now. If it's not something you really are in love with or really happy with, then it's time to make the shifts. That's really hard to do on your own. It really is. I'm even too close to my life. I have a coach. I have people who help me. So I'm asking you to take this really big step for yourself. And if you need extra help, sign up for a free discovery session with me. There's no obligation. And we will just take a look at maybe how I can help you and if I'm the right person to help you. And you will get more clear on what kind of direction you do need, where maybe things are in your life, what you could get help with, what's possible, maybe what's not possible. Just, it takes someone else to be objective and to kind of take an overall look and for you to be able to open up to and really be honest with. That helps immensely. So I have under my site now, dianamarchand.com, you can sign up right there. So you just put your name and email in there, and that'll let me know that you would like a session with me, and then we can book it, okay? So this is what you're going to do if you need some help with all of this. This exercise is great to go through, and it really gets an eye-opener, but if you don't do the work, if you don't start shifting, if you don't start making the changes, then life's not going to change. And if you try to do things all on your own, sometimes it can just wear you out, right? Because it's overwhelmed. You're already overwhelmed. You're in the middle of it. It's like, people can't fix their own mess just by themselves sometimes because they really need someone to make things clearer for them. We get caught up in our own story, in our own head, in the thinking. We don't connect. We don't feel to our true desires, what we really want, what we can do, really feel and believe what's possible for us. So we just stay up in our head, going around and around in a circle and really not making any changes and then continually to feel worse about things. I don't want that to happen to you. I really want you to begin to feel better, to see the possibilities, to see the things that you can do, to really move forward, small, consistent steps. So if you'd like, you can sign up for a discovery session with me, dianamarchand.com, and I'd love to chat with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was longer. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you have any questions, just contact me. Diana at Raw Foods Made Simple. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.